I just saw the Tomb Raider movie, and it was a thing. So Warner Bros. Has decided to dip their toe back into the water of video game movies, and from what I can tell, it's a step in the right direction, but not spectacular. Now, I'm just gonna go right out in the gate and say this. This might be the best video game movie I've ever seen. But knowing the past history of video game movies, we know that this is not a very high standard. So, why don't we just get right into talking about the movie? How about we talk about the pros first of all? What I enjoyed about this movie. Some of the action sequences were tense and action-packed, almost like they were ripped out of a Tomb Raider game. Now, I haven't really played many of the Tomb Raider games, but I've seen some action sequences in those games to be able to tell when an action scene is doing it right in a movie. Now, that's not to say every single action scene was the best. There was one at the beginning that kind of just felt forced and really just didn't need to be there. And I was like, the whole time, I was just like, all right, why is this happening? Can we move on? Can we advance the plot, maybe? But other than that, the action sequences were actually pretty well choreographed and tense. Lara Croft, I love the actor, and I love the character himself. She was charismatic. You really were rooting for her during this entire experience she was going through. You really wanted her to succeed in life. She did a great job as Lara Croft. Everyone else? There was a supporting character, love interest slash guide. I don't even know why he was there. He was literally only in there for a few scenes. He did not advance the plot in any way whatsoever. He was basically just extra screen time. And I could not tell if they were trying to make him a love interest or not. There were a few scenes where they were trying to... There were a few scenes that were written like they were trying to have chemistry, but they just forgot about him. Like, those scenes were very close to the beginning of the movie, and it feels like they just completely forgot about that arc. Now, I mentioned before there are some action sequences, and some of these action sequences revolve around some puzzle solving that the Tomb Raider actually has to partake in. Now, these puzzles are, overall, pretty well balanced. They're not so challenging that nobody in the audience has a clue of what's happening, and they're not so obvious that it's really easy to detect. You are trying to solve these mysteries with the main character, and that really engages you with the main plot. Now I think that's through all my pros. How about we get to some cons? The main villain in this movie was the cartoonish one-liner dispenser I have ever seen in a movie. But still, this guy, honestly, he had no other character other than bad guy. He just wasn't interesting. I didn't really care when he was on screen. The times when he was on screen tended to drag, and he was really just more of an inconvenience than anything. He didn't feel that threatening. Even though they really tried to make him feel threatening, it didn't really work well. No, I say one-liner dispenser. He literally says the cheesiest one-liners I think I've ever seen a villain say. And oh my gosh, every time he talked, I cringed so hard. Ugh. The pacing and the plot was all over the place. Mainly the plot. I feel like it jumped from one place to another, just like that. The plot was very cliche filled as well, and they basically just spoon-fed you every single bit of exposition that they could. Rather than implementing it into dialogue. No. We gotta open the movie with narration, expository dialogue garbage. But honestly, that might be a nitpick. You might like that in a movie. I do not. That basically just summarizes my feelings about this movie. It's a step in the right direction for video game movies, and I'm really rooting for them. I really want a video game movie to be good, because I'd like the idea of having one of my favorite video games being transferred onto the big screen. I really want to see that actually happen, and so far, no one's really been able to pull it off very well. I believe I'm going to give Tomb Raider the biggest, bigger than ever, 2 out of 5.